Hi there, a very good afternoon and good evening to all of you, depending on wherever you're watching me. This Simply Talks, and I'm live in this live session with you all. And I know that most of you might not get the notification for this live session, but they can always watch it later on once the session is over and gets uploaded. But for those who come online and who get the notification and can watch me online, a very good afternoon and welcome to you all in this session. And today I would like to talk to you about at least three stocks. So I'm going to talk to you about three stocks which I feel could do wonders over the next 18 months and are looking like either their consolidation and decline are about to be over and they're coming at very good valuations, or they are breaking out and the stock particularly is doing well. So we'll discuss about that. I'll answer your queries as well, and I'll discuss about the markets as well. It has been a long time since I have been in a live session with you all in a normal circumstances. Just an update on the family first, that things have become much better, alhamdulillah, uh, over the last 2 months, and things are looking brighter now. Probably it will take at least 15-20 days from now for things to completely stabilize, but much better than what it used to be, say, 6 weeks back. And that's why my videos were not there on YouTube, and I was putting up lesser videos, and things weren't going that well on the social media front as well. So things are getting better, and that's why I'm online right now. So I went through a number of companies today. I put up my watch list after a long time on Patreon and for members on WhatsApp, uh, and hopefully now things will be more consistent for members on WhatsApp and Patreon as well. If you want to take a membership on WhatsApp as well, you can email me for that as well, and I'll send you the details. So when I went through that watch list, those 35 stocks that I have in my watch list, I noticed that okay, the market is at 18,600 at new highs, but all those mid and small cap companies that I have in those in the watch list, apart from three or four, no more than four companies were higher than what it used to be, say, in the second week of October. So over the last 2 months, they have not moved anywhere. In fact, most of them have declined over this period, and 90% of them have declined, whereas only three or four have gone up. One was Varun Beverages, and there were two other companies that I remember had gone up from that watch list. So that tells me that the market has gone nowhere, actually. Yes, large caps have done well, banks have done well, but consumer stocks, consumer related stocks, or other sectors have struggled over that period of time. So, that's where my you can say optimism is that the big rally is here to stay and here to come. So we'll talk about the markets in earnest in about 3-4 minutes as more people join in on this Sunday afternoon, and then I'll discuss about the mid cap arena and what lies ahead for 2023, and then the three stocks as well. Just an update on different sporting events. A magnificent football World Cup that is going on in Qatar, and we saw huge upsets. Brazil losing to Croatia, and then yesterday, landslide victory for Morocco. A big win for the Gulf, a big win for West Asia, and you can say African region, for that region altogether. And the first African country, first Arab country to be in the World Cup semi-final, first African country to be in a World Cup football semi-final. That's just huge. To beat Portugal, they beaten Spain and they beaten other countries as well. Those were huge wins, and that's so they deserved to be where they are, to be in the World Cup semi-final. It will be interesting to see how they end up taking on France, which is the reigning champions at the moment. Hi, Kumar Priya. I hope you're doing well, Krishan. Uh, See, in my opinion, Argentina looks like favorites, but somehow I feel one of Croatia or Morocco could do it because of their keepers. I think the goalkeepers are doing extremely well, and with the matches going on into extra time and then penalties, it looks like goalkeepers could be the trump cards here. And I have a feeling. Both Morocco and Croatian keeper or Croat keeper is pretty good. That would be a very interesting match to look at. I will not be surprised if one of those two countries win it, but if you can say odds on favorites is Argentina now. After that, Brazil has lost. Uh, so it's going to be very fascinating to see who go through because uh, we can understand that right now Argentina has the best chance in the other, you can say, match. But it will be very interesting to see. I mean, how things pan out. Morocco taking on France, actually. So it's not Morocco Croatia, but Morocco taking on France. I will not be surprised if Morocco beats France. They have looked apart, the French, but. There's always an Achilles heel. There's always a banana skin match that awaits any team in a World Cup event, whether football, cricket, or hockey, you name it. So it's going to be very interesting in the semi-final. It's an open World Cup. Any of four side can win it, and I will not rule out Morocco against France even in that semi-final. Okay. In cricket, India, after losing to Bangladesh, and which was not a surprise to me, that they end up losing after playing, you can say, half cooked sides here and there. It's about time that they end up fixing all this and play their best 11 or make their best 11, which are fit and which can play all one day internationals because there are not a lot of one day internationals that are played at the moment compared to T20s. So probably they can have three teams, and that particular one day international team could be the best and end up being the best team, best side that they would be playing. Because we need 11 players who are fit on the ground, and then only we can win matches. Otherwise, I don't see India winning the World Cup in October, November, even if that is being played at home. So eventually, with Ishan Kishan in that once in a lifetime innings, uh, we have seen what happened there. He could have scored 300 the way he was batting, but that happens once in a decade or something like that. So we did win one, and now we are on to the test matches. It will be interesting to see how test matches go about. From the 14th. Interesting test match going on in Multan between England and Pakistan, and it will be interesting to see if Pakistan end up chasing this. I don't see them chasing 355, 360, but if they do it, it will be an Herculean task. West Indies, as expected, have lost to not only lost to Australia but got humiliated in the both the test matches, and now Australia will take on South Africa in a three-test series, if I'm not wrong, in Australia. That will be an interesting thing to look forward to. Another event that is starting today in hockey is the Women's Nations League uh, in Valencia, Spain. That is an event I'm looking forward to because India are playing there, and the winner of that plays in the Hockey Pro League of 2023-24. So it's a major event, but India have their task cut out because they have difficult oppositions, and especially Spain in the other group that's the host, and Spain are ranked higher than India. So it won't be that easy, but if India win it, it will be a big win if they end up winning this tournament. So that's something to look forward to. So that's about major sporting events concerning India or the sports that we watch here in India. Now let's get back to the markets and let's discuss about markets and everything. So Kalyan, a very good afternoon to you. Hi. So let's see how the markets end up doing over the next 2 3 weeks and how it ends in 2022. Uh, it has been a very interesting, you can say, market with the large caps doing well, Nifty doing well, Bank Nifty doing extremely well, but our portfolio has not moved, not my portfolio has moved. And so, what I have analyzed over the last 2 3 days, I got time, is that the mid cap and the small cap arena should end up doing well in 2023. That's my hunch. I believe that with the kind of 14 months of hiatus that all small cap, mid cap stocks have had, I think it's about time that the performance comes through and we could see not a similar kind of rally as we saw in second half of 2021, but a decent move in all mid and small cap stocks, because the large caps have moved and now it's about time that mid and small caps do move, because some of the stocks in there which are producing 30 40% growth, which are producing very good numbers, their valuations are becoming much better on the ground, because the stock has not moved or the stock has corrected. Three of those stocks I'll bring to you in a while, but those mid cap, small cap stocks, I think the whole index is much cheaper now compared to say 8 months, 12 months ago. Don't look at what Nifty has done, what Bank Nifty has done, because that will give you a very different picture. And it doesn't seem like a greedy market, it doesn't seem like a market where everything is overpriced and there's a lot of fraud, not at all. So it could be a situation where the Nifty might just be in a range, and we'll see specific mid cap, small cap companies, especially consumer related companies which are producing very good results, to perform extremely well over the next at least 6 months, if not 12 months. So that's my call. On the same note, I bring up here three stocks. One of them I've discussed time and again, and this is a stock that I have in my long term portfolio, and this is Kilpest India. Now, Kilpest, after a long while, has broken that 400 420 resistance, have broken out, and is currently trading well above it and with higher volumes and going up consistently. Now there are, you can say, different announcements that have come through, and the biggest of them all has been that European acquisition that they'll announce by February. So they've not announced by, they'll announce it by end of January or early February. But I believe that, uh, see, this company has been doing extremely well in the diagnostic kit segment for chikungunya, malaria, and other diseases. And they have major exposure or export oriented businesses that they had before the pandemic were in Africa and in Americas. But now with their expansion with True PCR Europe, in UK, especially after having their office in UK, uh, I think things are looking much brighter. Now you have to align everything. They have bought this UK facility, and all this acquisition came through in a situation or in an economic situation where Europe is sulking. Now that is pretty beneficial for a company that is bringing up their operations there, because the cost would have been lower compared to in a situation where the economy would have been booming and pound would have been expensive and so on and so forth. So that's one thing. Second thing is that the European recession or US recession that we are talking about, we might see that, but we might be not, I mean, that would not be prolonged. So I have a feeling that by April May next year, or at least by the end of first half of next year, things will be much better, things will be brighter, and we would be in a situation where you would have a situation where companies which are having exposure to Europe might start performing even better. So all in all, I believe over the next 18 to 24 months, uh, I think we could be in a situation where Kilpest would be producing totally different numbers to what they are producing at the moment. Now their exports have gone up from around 2 3 lakh rupees earlier to around 1 crore or even more than that. I have not looked at the specific uh, figure, but it's well over 1 crore at the moment. So things are looking much brighter. Even after the pandemic, the results are pretty good. 19 and a half crores of sales for the September quarter. and 50% margins have come through. I think this acquisition, along with their establishment of the business in UK, is going to augur well going forward, and that is why the stock has gone up from 300, say 2 3 months back, all the way to 450, 460 already, and going up further. Remember, the equity is less. It is a micro cap kind of a company, 400, 350, 400 crore market cap. So be very careful in it, but the time to buy into it was around 300, 350 when it was meandering along it. So patients do pay out in companies which are producing 30 40% growth, and that is exactly what Kilpest had been doing. So I believe that Kilpest is set to do extremely well over the next 1.5 2 years. I can't put up a number as to what targets it could be, but at least it will double from these levels. That's my assessment, at least with the kind of numbers it can produce with the business that they have in Europe. So that's one stock, that is Kilpest India, that I'm looking at. The second stock is an interesting one that had done extremely well around April May and has declined from there on in. Is FL India. Now FL India or Affle India, whatever you can call it, uh, had a high of 1511. Currently, it is trading at 1175 with a market cap of 15,500 crores. Uh, the company, yes, it came out with September numbers, which were slightly subdued to what the numbers should have been, but promptly the stock, you can say, corrected from late August all the way till December. So there has been a 3 month correction, 2.5 months correction in the stock, and now it is trading at its, you can say, long term PE averages or below that. Um if you look at screener and you can look at the numbers, you'll understand that their long term PE average for FL is around 75. It's trading at around 64, 65. I don't see a huge downside from here. Maybe maximum 1100, 1080 could be the downside. But over a period of time, I will not be surprised if the stock touches 1800, 2000 over the next 2 years or so. Another stock which could nearly double from the current level, uh, an ROE of around 28%, ROCE of 28%. Uh, Tremendous growth, and their best quarters are about to come. So December and March are their best quarter for FL. The sales have been growing pretty sharply, and this time around I think they are going to come up with something like 1400, 1500 crores of sales. The company has a market cap of around 15,000, 15,500 crores, so around 10 times sales is what it is trading at, which is not ultra expensive compared to other companies which are in this domain also. So FL around here and on dips are a buy, is a buy. 1800 could be the target over the next 2 years. Can perform extremely well uh, over this period. So that's the second stock that I wanted to bring to your notice. If you want to ask any queries and want me to answer in between my discussion, then you can use the super chat and super sticker feature. That will help me grow the channel. That will help you also ask me questions and eke out answers in greater detail. The third stock I want to talk here is probably a villain in this pack, and people have lost hope in it, and the way it got sold from the highs, it seems like there is no end to it, or there is no bottom for the stock, and I'm talking of FSN e-commerce or Nykaa. So Nykaa had fallen from a high of 360 to 180. The correction has been around 50%. uh, it can very well correct another 20% from here to go to around 140, but the upside could be very big, and I'm not talking of 100%, or I'm talking of more than that, and this is not a 2 year play. In terms of Nika, I would say that if you have between 3 to 5 year time horizon, then these are levels to start accumulating the stock. The company is have currently has a market cap of 50,000 crores, and it would have a sales of around yearly sales of around 5,200 crores for FY 23, around that. So trading at under 10 times sales, whereas if you look at it at its peak, it was trading at pretty much very high valuations in terms of market cap to sales. So currently it is trading at around 10 times sales, and when the IPO came in, it was trading at 50 times sales. So from 50 times it has corrected to 10 times sales. Remember that sales are growing. Sales, the pace of growth of sales has been around 70 to 80% year on year. If you look at the average market cap to sales for the company is around 18 times. It's trading at 10 times. Very high, well, you can say now very high chance for a reversal in the stock. And I'm not talking of 30-40% upside here. If you take FY24, then the sales should be closer to 7,000 7,500 crores, and for FY25 the sales should be somewhere closer to 10,500 crores. So around or 10,000 crores, let's say. If I don't take 10,500, let's take on a minimal basis around 10,000 crores. If you take 10,000 crores of sales for FY25, or 2 years down the line, say in December 2024, you could very well see the stock perching around, say, 20 times sales, if really another rally or into these new age stocks come in. So if you take 10,000 crores of sales and 20 times sales, it's 2 lakh crores. So from 50,000 crore market cap, you can see the stock trade at around 2 lakh crore market cap over the next 2 to 3 years. But have a 5 year time frame. This could end up big. And I can put my neck out here is that the low you can see on the stock, the at most the stock could fall 20% from here. That's what my assessment says. So at most the stock could go to 140, but over the next 3 years, I will not be surprised if you see the stock at 300, at say 4x from here, which is closer to 800 or 750 or something like that. So that is your risk reward at the moment. You can place a stop loss at 140 on a closing basis. You can sell below 140 if you can take a 20%, 22, 25% risk. Then the upside could be enormous in this stock. So that's the third stock, Nykaa, along with FL and Kilpest, that I believe that over the next 2 to 3 years, in Nykaa's case, over next 5 years could be very big in that period. All right. So, all right, guys, I'm ready to answer your queries. Kindly use the super chat and super sticker feature that will help me grow a channel. That will help you also ask me questions and eke out answers in a greater detail. So Mirza International, I'm positive on the stock. Just that the stock has run up so much this year. Is that if you are invested, be invested for next 2 to 3 years. If you have not invested in the stock, wait for Vijay, wait for major declines in the market or in the stock of around 25-30% from the top. If the stock is down 30% from the top, you can buy into something like Mirza International. So I cannot tell you about Yuko Bank. I don't track most of banks. In fact, all banks I don't track them, so I won't be able to comment on that. Again, Adani Group stocks I don't follow, so I won't be able to comment on those as well. Uh, Ashim, it's your call how much risk you can take. Nykaa has the biggest risk reward ratio. Zomato is second in that list, and Jubilant Foodworks is third. In fact, Jubilant at these levels over 5 years could again bring you a lot of profit. Again, another stock that is undervalued, that has been sold into because of raw material costs, could be spiking, could be other reasons, but these are very interesting levels for most of the high flying stocks that used to be high flyers, 100, 120, now currently at 70p. These are very interesting levels, and if one has patience in these stocks, because you never know when the tide will turn, but it will turn. So that's why, so you have to buy and hold big time to make big money into stocks like Zomato, Nykaa, or Jubilant Foodworks. I would say VA Tech, rather than VA Tech, look at consumer centric companies. They are coming at very reasonable levels. As I have explained. No, do not average Glenmark Pharma. I would say there are other pharma companies like Divi's, Dr. Reddy's, which look good. Even Lores around 380 could look very interesting if it falls to 380, 375. The way the bashing has been. But I won't say you average Glenmark even at these levels. So that's the call. Okay, people are saying a crash will come in December, January. What's your view? So, Sai, Ravi, it's interesting. A crash, by crash, what do you mean? 20% Nifty down, 30%. Even if Nifty goes down 20%, don't you think that the market will come back? So, it's all about time frame. If you have a 2 year time frame from today, the market may fall for 2 months and may recover in the next 6 months, and over the next 2 years, you'll be much higher than where you are. So, I don't look at short term crashes or downfalls or upswings in the market. That is of little importance. Thanks for your contribution. I do see a lot of value in Mastec, Santosh. HIL, I have to look at and only then let you know. So let me open up HIL. But Mastec, yes, I think it has made a definitive bottom with what it has done over the last 2 months or so, and with the kind of situation that is happening or that is taking place in Europe and US, I think it cannot be any worse. Yes, again, you have to give time to it because I feel there will be a 6 months of pain in Europe, and Mastec has major exposure to Europe. I think 65% of their business comes from there. So what you need to do is buy here, but buy from a 2.5, 3 year point of view, and then you'll make money big time into it. But cause once it starts moving, uh, then uh, then it will move very swiftly higher. So that's the call. Uh, in terms of you can say HIL that you asked, see, it is in the building material space in India. It The space is quite volatile in nature. There hasn't been a consistent run in terms of growth in this sector, and that is why stocks in this field and in tiles and in ceramics and other companies, they go up for a short period of time and then they come back again. Now September numbers were not that great, with margins of only 1.5% or so, after having margins of around 11, 10, 11%, 8 to 15%. I would say in HIL, wait for one more quarter, let numbers come up with around 12, 13% margin, only then get into it, because if the margins continue to be 2, 3%, then the PE will shrink even further, will go to around 8 or 9 times. That means you'll have another 30% correction on HIL. So wait for the numbers to come up, and only then you'll have a situation uh, where you can buy the stock. That's the call. Yes, you can average HDFC AMC, but have a long term view. So that's the call. Uh, which stocks has better? What is RR? I would like to know in the IT sector. Uh, Surya Prakash, can I buy HDFC? So I have said that yes, you can average HDFC AMC at current levels. Autos should do well once Indian economy picks up. At the moment, it doesn't seem like on the bottom line that it is picking up. Some of the auto stocks I have mentioned time and again look good. Eicher on declines look good. Jamna Auto look good. Endurance Tech is another one, and uh, I would consider KPIT Tech as an auto stock on decline on current levels, and on dips to 650 look especially good. Okay, Sairavi, risk reward is what you're talking about. I think Mastec is one. I think Coforge is another on dips that look pretty good. Again, my point here is that it's not as much about risk reward as it is about time frame. if you have in IT and pharma and in stocks which have exposure to Europe and US, you have a very decent time frame of say 4 5 years. You'll make a lot of money. From a 1 year point of view, it's going to be very difficult. So that's the call. Ravi, thanks for your contribution. Views on Vedant Fashion and Coromandel. Coromandel look very good at these levels, but you'll have to have a 18-month time frame because it will do well from February, March onwards. But one should get in now because you'll get very less opportunity to get into the stock at the valuation that it is trading at. So another mid cap stock that is looking extremely attractive at these levels. Vedant Fashions, if you get a chance to buy around 1300, 1250 in that region, it looks good because I believe, and a disclaimer, I have the stock in my trading portfolio. 1250 could be a very good level to get into. This is slightly expensive, but we have to look at how December numbers pan out. I believe December could be pretty good. I think if that is the case, then even current levels are good to buy. So you have to analyze as to whether the numbers for December will be good or not. I believe it should be. So these levels are decent enough for you to buy. Again, a time frame should be 18 to 24 months on Vedant Fashion. So that's the call there. Okay. Yes, so Stovecraft has underperformed, but again, numbers have not been that great. So you have to look at some other companies. Then one of the company that come to my mind again, another one which has corrected is Butterfly Gandhimati from the top at current levels. It looks good. Uh, Nirogdam, I have talked about Kilpest, so you can reverse the tape, and I've talked about it in detail, so you can reverse the tape and watch it. So Varun Beverages, Concur, there are couple of advice for short term. It looks stretched, but I have a feeling that over next 18 months it could be headed towards 24 2500 or even higher. I think a lot of things are happening, and the revenue picture could completely change with that kurkure thing and their exposure to other countries that are taking place. Morocco operations are opening up. uh, Demand is picking up. They have had major facilities come up in Bihar and in other places. So things are getting bigger for the company, and that's why the stock is becoming bigger. So again, a stock that is in my portfolio. So that's a disclaimer, but a very positive on it. Uh, I will not be surprised if the stock goes to 2000 over the next 12 15 months or so. So that's the call on Varun Beverages. It's not the case, Kankar, that in fact, I remember from 2014 till 17, every year December, November, December has been pretty good, and mid caps and small cap has had done well, but January, February has been bad. So January is very dangerous month if you really pick a month, because I remember January 2008 was the month when the big fall started happening in that recession, and when the market fell 60%. January 2016 was the time when in Jan and Feb the market fell from 9,000, I think it was 8,800 or so. I think 9,100 to 6,800 in just 2 months. So Jan Feb are very difficult months to cope with for traders. So that's the call. Fam Industries on dips can be bought into. Finally, numbers are coming through. So yes, look good in that sense. Thanks a lot for being online. Please like and subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so you can get my video straight away when I post it. And support me on Patreon. Thanks a lot, everyone.